What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a good. Feels like a Friday because it's the last day, like basically of the season that we'll be doing this live thing at this time. I've appreciated you guys hung in there. Hopefully, you guys have made some money. Let's make some money tonight and end on a good note. I will try to go live at 2 Eastern tomorrow for the early slate. So I'll be ready for that. And before that, though, let's talk about this weird slate because we're still going to have to adjust based on what lineups come in. There's still question marks even as to who's pitching. There's still some people out there with the Giants that have a possibility of it being Rodon, which would add more complications. I don't think you need to fully stack tonight. If I did, the Dodgers are going to be popular. I think they make the most sense. But I don't think that you have to go that route. I think you could do an Angels stack. You could do it pretty cheap. The one thing you have to worry about is Rendon only had 2 at bats last night. So that's a 2K play on FanDuel that I'm still going to gamble with. But just throwing that out there, so be a little careful. I think the A's are viable. I think the White Sox are viable. And I have the Diamondbacks as a team that I actually kind of like. But I am going to be mixing most of it in with like 3-3-2s, 4-2-2s, mostly between and the Padres, if there is no Rodon. I'm going to be mixing in a lot of A's, actually. And I'm also going to be pitching some Lorenzen in a double spend down type of build. I'm going to be playing probably like 2 to 3 Dodgers on most teams, depending on what the Dodgers release out there, but not necessarily every team. I do think the Padres have some upside against the bullpen game, but mostly it's going to be like 3-3-2s, 3-2-2s, 3-2-1s, 4-2-2s, even a little bit of that. I think I have a couple 5-man stacks, and I don't feel great, but it's mostly the Dodgers and Padres combined together. Just to let you know where I'm at. I do think the White Sox are interesting. I think they want to win half their games. I think they're another one I would look at. And I like Diamondbacks pieces more than I like the full stack, specifically Garrett, Walker, Rojas on FanDuel, and Carson Kelly on DraftKings. But I am not playing much from this Tampa Bay Boston game, and I'm not playing any. Well, the Toronto game is now canceled, so we don't have any decisions to make till like 7:40. So we can wait on some lineups now. If you're with me, I do think taking a shot on Springs makes some sense. You got to worry about the weather, and it does worry me a little bit. So I may get to a little bit of Springs, and I wouldn't completely hate. It looks like it's getting better, by the way, the weather for that game, as well as the Mets game, which is kind of surprising because I was pretty much off of the Mets game entirely, and now I might have to revisit that and think about some Taijuan Walker. So that's really the decisions. But again, I'm probably going to wait and hold off and skip the first game. I do worry a little bit that Springs is a decent play, but he hasn't been good against Boston all year. And I worry a little bit about not getting exposure to Tampa Bay, but I don't feel like there's anything that stands out as being so crazy. You could say Choi at 2,400 for first. There's other guys you can play there. There's just a lot of value out there. As far as pitching goes, even in less than their normal pitches, I still think Cole and Verlander stand out. I think Verlander is probably going to get reasonably close to his normal 90 to 100. And I think Cole will probably, depending on when the last inning they pitch, which will probably be around the 5th or 6th ends, hopefully get 7 in if your guys are really rolling. I have those guys, Zach Gallen, and then I have some Lorenzen and some Manaea. And then I've got some Urias. Those are basically the guys I'm using today. And I can't have Juan Soto anymore, so he's going to be out of my lineup. So I have to make a quick change. But pop on in, ask your questions, fire on your thoughts on anything. I'm happy to talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. Wow, that kind of throws me into a funny spot with that Soto thing. In this one lineup, I know what I can do. Perfect. I can do that, and then I can do this, and then I can do this, and I can do this. Okay. Oops, sorry guys. Sorry, it lost me there for a minute because I had to make a couple changes here. I'll be right back to it in just a second. I have some. See, I don't want the one-offs from that game because I do worry about the weather. But I think if it gets better, we can play a little bit of it. I just realized I have like 2 Wander Franco lineups. Dodger lineup is out. Okay, well, let's go through it then. That's good to know. They haven't yet done the sitting after 2 at bats. It's always something that's a risk this time of year, but I don't have the Dodger lineup yet, so I'll take a look at that when I see that. I went through my pitchers. So hopefully that question was before that. let's see, what's up to Banks? What's up to Kevin? Sitting in 68th place on a Monday, Thursday game with 3 people left to play. Good job. All right, Joanne. Beautiful. Glad you're doing well off on that Monday, Thursday. I used to love those. I don't play them as much anymore, but they're really fun. No, the Mets game is on the slate. Hold on. Did they take it off? Because they didn't take it off at first, but they have the players in red. I didn't get an official alert. It'd be really messed up because we should probably get a ruling on that, and I will find out an answer in Discord probably after I'm done here. But yeah, that's something we should probably figure out. I didn't say anything about Nola pitching. Who said anything about Nola pitching? I want to know. I never said anything about Nola. I may have used his name by mistake. Instead of Verlander or Cole, I may have said Nola. That was just an accident. Yeah, I'm using Verlander, Cole, Gallen, Giolito, Manaea, Lorenzen. And I have a little bit of Urias. That's where I am. All right, so read if you guys don't mind typing the Dodgers lineup or copying and pasting over. I'm trying to see if I still don't have it. I'm looking at MLB's thing, so maybe it's just for whatever reason not updating for me. Well, that's going to be a big one. So we kind of need that information. Also, one thing that's interesting that no one's talked about on this slate is the Giants. Why aren't we talking about the Giants here? You know, maybe that's the one. Maybe that's the one. Okay, thanks, Peyton Wavy. I appreciate that. Glad to know that because I was just confused. Why didn't they just remove him from the pool? Anyone from the why would I need it from the bottom half? Because answer would be why. Oh, because you have the whole top 4 stacks. I don't know if I want a 5-man, but if you're gonna do it, okay. My favorite, yeah, Connor Capel is probably my favorite one of them, or Capel, depending on how we say it these days. All right. Other thoughts. I would like to get some clarity on this Boston game. I do think you can use some pieces there pretty cheaply, but it's just I still think I'm gaining from waiting, although I'm not waiting on as much anymore if the Dodger lineup's out. But I actually need to see the lineup before I can comment on anything with it. So if anybody has it, please let me know because I don't know why I can't seem to get the updated lineup. So please let me know what you've got because we did see the Dodgers lineup was out. Yeah, I don't know what to do without that lineup in terms of talking about it. All right, let's see. Anything, guys? No help on the Dodgers lineup? I don't know why it's not showing me, but I will go back to my Twitter and spend time doing that. Here we go. Dodgers. Line. Okay, and I've got so Mookie, Trey, Freeman, Muncy, Turner, Trace, Lux, Bellinger, Barnes. Everybody in that I was playing except for Gallo, so I'm gonna have to make some changes when I get out of here and remember to do that. That's exactly how we sort of thought and hoped maybe it would come out, but that looks like a pretty solid lineup. And I think it's going to be hard to ignore the Dodgers tonight. I do think there's a chance some guys may be limited, but they didn't do it last night. They want to leave on a good note. They have a week off. They're probably going to let them go out there and try to win the game and on a high note. But if it's 7-0 and they start pulling guys, don't say it's not we never said it wasn't a possibility. But it's a pretty strong Dodger lineup. Yeah. So thanks, Banks. Appreciate you, man. But pop in any other questions you have, any other thoughts. I think the Urias play is a little bit sketchy. I also think that the Manaea play is sketchy as hell. I think that really we should be playing some. You know what? I'm going to play some Giants. I'm making a note to myself here. Let's play some especially some cheap Giants because I think that is a really good way to go. We don't have a Giants lineup either, which should also keep the ownership down, which is not going to be that much of it anyway. But you've got Austin Slater really cheap. You've got on FanDuel, you've got VR really cheap. You've got whoever ends up playing the Flores really cheap on FanDuel. JD Davis, reasonable. Yeah, these are all affordable on DK. If they bat Yastrzemski third against the lefty, you would include him. I actually like this Giants idea And I'm still going to play some Anaya, but I'm definitely going to get some exposure to the Giants. It's going to happen. All right. 7-0 means they pull guys, scored 7 runs. Yeah, exactly, Adam. That might be good enough tonight, right? Like we might get 90 pitches out of Cole or Verlander. That might be good enough, Orders as favorite stacks as the Dodgers are number one, but they're, again, I'm not stacking. So I just told you, I have some 5-mans. I have some San Diego, depending on if we get the actual starting pitcher not being Rodon, and it's going to be a bullpen game. I don't have any Dodger. I have a Dodger 4-mans. But I'm mixing them up with the not as much the Yankees, depending on what the Yankees lineup is. Sorry, not Toronto. This is the wrong day I have written here. Excuse me. Yeah, there we go. They're mixing up with San Diego, the White Sox, the Diamondbacks, pieces of Oakland, and the Angels. As well as the Padres. And I don't have a specific order because I don't like stacks on this kind of a slate. I like it's the ones that could go off: Dodgers, Angels, Oakland, San Diego, and San Francisco. But I'm not fully stacking much. And by the way, if you didn't stack last night, you probably would have won every tournament if you just got a couple. You just give a couple pieces right. It's nuts. I ended up finishing 5th in the single entry, I think, and fuck, it's just frustrating. Yeah, it's a doubleheader. That's why it's not on FanDuel. FanDuel doesn't generally do that. Let's see if we have a Yankees lineup yet. Do we? We do. So the Yankees. Oh, we do. We got it official. Okay, so the Yankees are Judge, Stanton. Good job. They're putting Stanton behind him. Cabrera, Donaldson, LeMahieu, Peraza, Bader, Trevino, Hicks. Okay, so I like the Yankees. I think it's reasonable. I like as long as Judge is in the game, they're going to leave the guys out there, and even after, they're probably going to leave him out there for Cole. He has not his best season, so I do like the Yankees. I think they're going to have some pretty decent ownership, but I like Donaldson. I like Stanton, and obviously Judge. I don't need to say that one, but I like the Cabrera. I like Peraza a lot down in the 6 hole as a cheap option on DK. So he hit a home run earlier today. Kid's talented. Also some speed upside there. So kind of like that. Am I fading Mookie and Dodger stacks? Mostly not. No, mostly I'm just playing him. Why would I fade Mookie specifically? Right, Adam. That's totally a fair point about Judge, but it seems like you'd let him have, because what if he hits one in his first at bat? Okay, then you kind of want to see where you go with that game. You know what I mean? If it's in his 3rd at bat, yeah, maybe they're there. But then you've already gotten 3 at bats out of him, and you're probably not losing the entire rest of the team because of Cole. So that's where it is. That's where I'm at. But Banksy, let me know what you mean, because I don't know why there'd be a reason specifically to fade Mookie. I don't see that as being sure. There are some Dodger stacks that I have, or 4-mans or 3-mans that don't have Mookie in it. But why would you consciously avoid Mookie is the question, just because of ownership, and it's not even that. We're talking about percentage points here at that point. I don't know. I don't see it as being. I mean, he's going to be the most popular, but Trey is right there. Trey actually might be more popular than he is. And then you get the Muncie Freedom, pretty popular. I don't mind the bottom stack if you wanted to do it. That's a good way to get exposure to a game and they're the more likely guys to stay in the game too. I don't think like that, Kevin. I don't think of who's the top Dodger I like. I really don't. Mookie and Trey are the 2 best plays always. Next is it's going to be the guys who are the best players are always going to be my answers. So, yeah, it's not like I have a specific one that faces up. Feltner gets hit equally bad from both sides, and I don't see anyone I don't like. So I can't answer that one. Trace is now more expensive than some of the other ones. Yeah, but I like Trace. There still is a good chance that even just separately that they let Gallo get in at bat tonight, so somebody gets pinch hit for at some point. And it could even be a lefty. You don't even know which one. It could be anybody. They may just want to get him some reps before the postseason, even though he's not going to be on the main roster. I do think it's very unlikely that Chris Taylor would play in any situation because he actually is banged up. So I think there is some pinch hit risk with the Dodgers, or pinch field everything risk, but probably not to completely overhaul tonight. I think they wait for tomorrow, or unless the game is a little bit out of hand. So that's where I'm at. I'm going to pop off in just a minute because I'm going to go get some lineups right. Go get some Giants in my lineups. I'm going to definitely make sure to do that. And any other questions or thoughts, guys, please let me know. And let's make some money. Good luck, everybody.